Ladies and gentlemen, today we gather to honor a kind of woman that is not merely rare but extraordinary. She is not defined by the superficial measures that so often dominate society's gaze: her appearance, her wealth, or her status. No, her distinction lies in something far more profound. She stands apart not because of her circumstances, which may be as ordinary as anyone else's, but because of the richness of her character, the depth of her soul, and her quiet yet unyielding defiance of mediocrity. She is the woman who dares to live authentically in a world that often rewards conformity. She does not settle for what is easy or comfortable, but strives for what is true and noble. She chooses substance over spectacle, purpose over popularity, and virtue over convenience. These women, rare as they are, do not command attention with the noise of the world. Instead, they draw us in with the quiet strength of their presence. They live not to impress, but to inspire. They are not just remarkable for what they achieve, but for who they are: beacons of hope, builders of legacies, and the keepers of wisdom in a time desperate for it. It is these extraordinary women we celebrate today, and as we reflect on their lives and the qualities that make them truly rare, let us ask ourselves, how can we too rise above the ordinary and join their ranks? For their rarity is not unattainable, it is an invitation for us all to become the best versions of ourselves. So, let us begin this journey of reflection and inspiration by exploring what makes the rarest women in the world a source of light in even the darkest times. The rarest women in the world are defined by their ability to stand firm in their values. In a society where opinions shift as quickly as the wind, they remain rooted in a set of principles that guide their every thought and action. Their moral compass does not waver under pressure, and they are not swayed by the allure of temporary gains or popular approval. This steadfastness gives them a clarity of purpose that is both rare and admirable. When others are unsure of the path to take, these women act decisively, not because they lack fear, but because they are guided by something greater than fear. They are not perfect, but they are intentional, choosing every step with the awareness that their actions ripple beyond themselves. Such women live by a code that is as unshakable in private as it is in public. They are the same person whether the world is watching or not. This consistency is what makes them trustworthy, for people know they can rely on these women to do what is right, even when it is difficult. Their integrity becomes their legacy. Those around them, friends, colleagues, and family, feel the weight of their honesty and draw strength from it. These women remind us that a life of integrity is not built in grand moments of heroism, but in the small, daily choices to honor what is right. This unwavering moral compass does not make life easier for them. In fact, it often makes it harder. The rare woman must frequently face opposition, misunderstanding, and isolation. Yet she chooses to bear this burden because she knows the alternative, living without purpose or principle, is far worse. And in a world full of shifting loyalties and grey areas, such a woman is a rare gem. She does not fear standing alone because she understands that the right path is seldom the popular one. Her life is a testimony to the truth that conviction, though costly, is priceless. True greatness is quiet, and the rarest women know this better than anyone. They do not seek the spotlight, for their strength lies in their humility. Humility is not weakness, it is strength held under control. It is the quiet assurance that comes from knowing one's worth without the need to prove it. These women do not clamor for recognition, nor do they chase after titles or accolades. Their work speaks for itself, and even when it goes unnoticed, they press on. They find joy in the act of service, knowing that what they do matters not because of who sees it, but because of the impact it creates. Humility allows them to see others with clarity. They are not consumed by their own achievements or struggles, but are attuned to the needs of those around them. This makes them approachable and compassionate. People are drawn to their presence, not because of what they project, but because of the peace and strength they exude. The humility of these women is what allows them to grow. They do not see themselves as above correction or beyond improvement. Instead, they welcome feedback, embrace learning, and view every challenge as an opportunity to become better. This is what sets them apart, their willingness to remain teachable, no matter how far they have come. It is not easy to walk the path of humility, especially in a world that rewards pride and self-promotion. Yet the rare woman chooses this path because she understands its value. She knows that humility is the foundation of wisdom, and that without it, all other virtues crumble. Her humility does not diminish her, it elevates her. It allows her to lift others without losing her footing, to lead without dominating, and to inspire without overshadowing. In her quiet way, she reminds us that humility is not thinking less of oneself, but thinking of oneself less. In a world that often mistakes loudness for strength, the rarest women embrace gentleness as their superpower. Gentleness is not weakness. It is strength under perfect control. These women wield it with precision, knowing that a kind word or a soft touch can achieve what force and aggression cannot. Gentleness allows them to respond to the chaos of life with calm. When the world around them feels like a storm, they become the eye of that storm, steady, centered, and unshakable. Their gentleness does not mean they lack passion or conviction. Rather, it means they know how to express these things in a way that builds bridges instead of burning them. This quality makes them exceptional leaders. People are drawn to their wisdom and grace, not out of fear but out of admiration. They do not demand respect. They command it through their actions. They listen more than they speak and act with a deliberateness that ensures their efforts leave a lasting impact. The power of gentleness lies in its ability to disarm. It diffuses conflict, softens hardened hearts, and creates an environment where trust can flourish. These women understand that gentleness is not about being passive or weak, but about using strength in a way that heals instead of harms. Gentleness also makes them fierce protectors of others. They use their strength to shield, nurture, and uplift those who are vulnerable. Whether as a mother, friend, leader, or partner, their gentleness becomes a source of life-giving energy for those around them. Yet gentleness is not an easy virtue to practice. It requires restraint, patience, and an inner strength that can withstand provocation. The rare woman cultivates this quality, knowing that it is a gift to the world and one the world desperately needs. Her gentleness is what sets her apart. In a noisy, aggressive world, her quiet strength shines as a beacon of hope and restoration. It reminds us all that true power is not in dominating others, but in lifting them up. The rarest women are distinguished by their deep sense of purpose. They do not live for fleeting pleasures, shallow pursuits, or momentary applause. Instead, their lives are shaped by a vision of something greater sends their personal desires and comforts. This could be a commitment to family, a cause, their faith, or the betterment of humanity itself. Living for something greater gives their lives a depth and weight that is rare in today's world. These women do not drift aimlessly through life. They are intentional, focusing their time and energy on things that matter. They understand that life is not about accumulating accolades or possessions, but about leaving a legacy that will endure. This sense of purpose drives them to sacrifice. They willingly give up their time, resources, and even their comfort for the sake of others. While many hesitate to act unless there is a personal benefit, these women move forward without expecting anything in return. Their sacrifices are not burdens, but offerings to the greater good. Such women often possess a remarkable clarity of priorities. They do not waste their lives chasing distractions because they know their time is limited and precious. They choose relationships over materialism, truth over convenience, and impact over recognition. They are fully present in the moments that matter most. Their devotion to a higher purpose inspires those around them. They show others that life is richer and more fulfilling when lived with intention and direction. Their actions challenge us to ask ourselves, what are we living for? Are we investing our lives in things that will outlast us? Living for something greater also equips these women with resilience. When trials come, they find strength in their purpose. The difficulties they face are put into perspective because they know they are working towards something meaningful. Their struggles become stepping stones, not stumbling blocks. These women are rare because they remind us of a truth we often forget, that a life centered on something beyond oneself is a life of profound significance. It is not the breadth of their influence, but the depth of their commitment that makes them extraordinary. In a world often preoccupied with superficial matters, the rarest women dare to think deeply. They are not content with surface-level conversations or shallow perspectives. Instead, they seek to understand the truths that lie beneath, wrestling with questions that shape their understanding of themselves, others, and the world. These women are thinkers, philosophers, and seekers of wisdom, regardless of their formal education or background. They read, listen, and reflect, allowing their minds to stretch and grow. They are unafraid of complexity, knowing that real understanding requires effort, patience, and courage. Their deep thinking enables them to see connections others might miss. While many are caught up in the immediacy of life, these women look at the bigger picture. They understand that history, philosophy, and human experience are interconnected, and they use this understanding to navigate the present with clarity and purpose. They also have the courage to question assumptions. These women do not blindly accept the norms or ideas presented to them. Instead, they evaluate, critique, and refine their beliefs based on truth and reason. This makes them adaptable yet grounded, open to learning but firm in their convictions. Deep thinking is not without its challenges. It often isolates these women from the majority, as their insights can be misunderstood or dismissed. Yet they persist, not for the sake of intellectual pride, but because they know that shallow thinking leads to shallow living. Their wisdom becomes a gift to others. These women are often sought out for advice and guidance because people sense that their insights are born of thoughtfulness, not haste. They create spaces where meaningful conversations flourish, inspiring others to think more deeply and live more intentionally. What sets these women apart is their recognition that thinking deeply is not just an intellectual exercise, but a moral responsibility. They know that the thoughts they nurture will shape the words they speak, the actions they take, and the lives they influence. The rarest women understand that true beauty is not found in fleeting appearances, but in qualities that endure. In a world obsessed with external perfection, they cherish the beauty of kindness, wisdom, and courage, qualities that time cannot erode but only enhance. These women are not trapped by society's narrow standards of beauty. They see value in diversity and uniqueness, knowing that beauty is as varied as the people who embody it. Their self-worth is not tied to their reflection in a mirror, but to the goodness of their character and the light they bring to others. They cultivate an inner beauty that radiates outward. This beauty is seen in their kindness, a quiet word of encouragement, a gesture of compassion, or a willingness to listen when others need to be heard. It is seen in their courage, as they face life's trials with grace and resilience. This perspective on beauty also shapes how they view others. They are not quick to judge based on appearances, but instead look for the qualities that truly matter. They celebrate the beauty in others, recognizing and affirming the unique gifts that each person brings to the world. These women invest in the things that last. While they may enjoy dressing well or taking care of themselves, they do so as an expression of self-respect, not vanity. Their primary focus is on building a legacy of love, strength, and wisdom, things that remain long after outward beauty fades. Their appreciation for enduring beauty extends to the world around them. They find joy in nature, art, and simple moments of connection. They understand that beauty is not something to possess, but something to experience and share. What makes them rare is their ability to remind us that beauty is not skin deep. They challenge the world to see beyond appearances and to value what truly matters, the beauty of a soul that is kind, wise, and courageous. The rarest women possess a resilience that is both awe-inspiring and humbling. They are not spared from life's difficulties, yet they endure and emerge stronger with each challenge. Trials do not define them. Instead, they reveal the depth of their character and the strength of their spirit. When hardships come, and they always do, these women do not crumble. They may bend, but they never break. They have an inner fortitude that carries them through the darkest valleys. Their resilience is not born of luck or ease, but forged through experiences that tested and refined them. Their ability to endure stems from their perspective. They see trials not as punishments but as opportunities for growth. These women understand that adversity is a natural part of life, and that it has the power to shape them into someone wiser, kinder, and stronger. They do not seek suffering, but neither do they flee from it when it comes. The rare woman draws strength from various sources. For some, it is faith or a spiritual connection. For others, it is the love of family, the support of friends, or the sheer determination to overcome. Whatever the source, her strength is not fleeting but deeply rooted, allowing her to persevere when others might falter. Her resilience inspires those around her. People see her steadfastness and find hope in their own struggles. She becomes a source of comfort and guidance, showing others that it is possible to face life's storms and still emerge with grace and dignity. This unshakable nature does not mean she is immune to pain. She feels the weight of her challenges as deeply as anyone else, but she does not let them define her. She allows herself to grieve, to rest, and to heal, but she always gets back up. The rare woman's strength in trials is a testament to her belief in something greater than her circumstances. She does not let difficulty diminish her. Instead, she lets it shape her into the remarkable person she was always meant to be. The rarest women have an extraordinary ability to inspire those around them. Their lives are not just about personal success, but about lifting others to achieve their own potential. They do this not through grand gestures, but through their everyday actions and the way they carry themselves. These women lead by example. They do not ask others to do what they themselves are unwilling to do, whether it is through their work, their relationships, or their community efforts. They demonstrate what it means to live with purpose, integrity, and compassion. Their example serves as a quiet but powerful call to those who witness it. Their inspiration comes from their authenticity. They are not perfect, nor do they pretend to be. Instead, they are honest about their struggles and vulnerabilities, which makes them relatable. People do not feel intimidated by them, but encouraged, knowing that if these women can rise, so can they. The rare woman is a mentor, even if unofficially. She sees the potential in others, often before they see it in themselves. She nurtures this potential, offering encouragement, guidance, and wisdom. Her belief in others is transformative, giving them the confidence to pursue their dreams and overcome their fears. Her words carry weight, but her actions speak louder. People are inspired not just by what she says, but by what she does. Her commitment to living with integrity and purpose challenges those around her to evaluate their own lives and rise to meet a higher standard. She inspires not through domination, but through empowerment. The rare woman does not need to overshadow others to shine. Instead, she creates space for others to thrive, celebrating their successes as if they were her own. Her leadership is marked by collaboration, not competition. What makes her ability to inspire so unique is that it is not deliberate but natural. She does not set out to be an inspiration, she simply lives her life in a way that reflects her values and convictions. In doing so, she reminds everyone who encounters her that they, too, have the power to rise and make a difference. The rarest women are beacons of hope in a world often consumed by despair. They do not ignore the brokenness around them, nor do they deny their own struggles. Instead, they choose to see the light amidst the darkness and to nurture it until it grows into something brighter. Hope is not mere optimism. It is a courageous act of defiance. These women face the harsh realities of life with open eyes, yet they refuse to be overcome by them. They hold on to the belief that better days are possible, and that good can triumph over evil, even when the evidence suggests otherwise. Their hope is not passive but active. They do not simply wait for things to get better, they work tirelessly to make them so. Whether through small acts of kindness or large-scale efforts to effect change, they are agents of hope in their communities and beyond. This hope is contagious. When others see these women's unwavering belief in the future, they begin to believe as well. Their hope becomes a spark that ignites a fire in those who had given up. They remind us all that even in the darkest times, there is reason to keep going. The rare woman's hope is rooted in her resilience and perspective. She understands that every challenge is temporary and that even the most difficult seasons will pass. This understanding gives her the strength to persevere and the courage to encourage others to do the same. Her hope is also a source of healing. She brings comfort to those who are hurting, reminding them that they are not alone and that there is always a way forward. She listens, supports, and uplifts, offering a safe haven for those in need of reassurance. These women show us that hope is not just an emotion but a choice. It is the decision to believe in the possibility of goodness and to work toward it, no matter the odds. In a world that desperately needs hope, their presence is a gift beyond measure. The rarest women live lives that resonate far beyond their years. Their impact is not confined to the present. It echoes into the future, shaping the lives of those they touch and influencing generations yet to come. Their legacy is not one of fleeting fame or material wealth, but of character, wisdom, and love, a legacy that transcends time. These women understand that a true legacy is not about what they accumulate, but what they give away. They pour their time, energy, and resources into things that endure: relationships, values, and principles. They invest in people, knowing that the lives they shape will continue to carry their influence long after they are gone. Their legacy often begins in the quiet, unnoticed moments of everyday life. It is seen in the way they nurture their children, mentor their colleagues, or care for their communities. They do not seek grand monuments in their honor. Instead, they aim to leave behind lives that are better, hearts that are fuller, and spirits that are stronger because of their presence. The rare woman is intentional about what she leaves behind. She does not let the busyness of life distract her from what truly matters. She knows that her actions today will become her legacy tomorrow. This awareness drives her to live with purpose, ensuring that the values she holds dear are passed on to those who come after her. Her legacy is also one of courage and resilience. The way she faces challenges, overcomes obstacles, and perseveres in the face of adversity inspires others to do the same. Her life becomes a roadmap for those who follow, showing them that it is possible to live with integrity, strength, and grace no matter the circumstances. The influence of such a woman often extends far beyond her immediate circle. People who encounter her, even briefly, carry her impact with them. Whether it is a kind word, a wise piece of advice, or the simple but powerful example of how she lived, her actions ripple outward, touching lives she may never even meet. In the end, the legacy of the rarest women is a reminder of what truly matters in life. They teach us that it is not the size of our platform, but the depth of our love, the strength of our character, and the generosity of our spirit that determines the mark we leave on the world. They may not be remembered in history books, but they are etched in the hearts of those who knew them, a legacy that is, perhaps, the most meaningful of all. The rarest women in the world are not defined by the roles they play or the accolades they receive, but by the essence of who they are. They are women of integrity, humility, and resilience. They inspire hope, nurture beauty that transcends the superficial, and live with a sense of purpose that goes far beyond themselves. They do not chase the fleeting, but build lives grounded in what endures. These women remind us of the power of character over charisma, of substance over style, and of love over all else. They teach us that true greatness is not loud but quiet, not self-serving but self-giving, and not fleeting but eternal. In their actions we see courage, in their gentleness we find strength, and in their legacies we are left with the blueprint for a life of meaning and significance. As we reflect on the qualities of these extraordinary women, let us remember that their rarity is not an excuse for admiration alone. It is a challenge and an invitation. We are all capable of embodying these virtues in our own lives. We are all called to rise above the ordinary, to live for something greater, and to leave behind a legacy that transcends time. The rarest women in the world show us what is possible when we embrace our highest potential. They remind us that we are not bound by our circumstances, but are shaped by our choices. And in honoring them, we honor the very best of what humanity can be. Let us not just admire their lives, but strive to join their ranks. For when we do, we too become a light in the world, a light that inspires, uplifts, and endures. Thank you.